All right, hello everyone. I'm going to show you guys how to add the winter storm severity index to WSV3. The only additional thing that you're going to need is QGIS, and I'll leave a download to QGIS in the description. You don't really need to understand how to use QGIS. If you just follow these steps, it should work for you just fine. But getting a familiarity with how to use GIS software in the field of meteorology is always a good thing. So we're going to come to this Weather Prediction Center website, and right up here you see this link for Winter Storm Severity Index. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now, this is the 1 through 3. My forecast area is for central Indiana here. So I want this days 1 to 3 because it's got a very large swath of extreme impacts. So I want to display that on WSV3. So the thing that we're going to do is we're going to come down here to download all data in SHP. KML is another GIS format. Shapefiles or SHPs, in my opinion, are easier to work with, but you can do KMLs. You just have to convert it to an SHP after you're done manipulating it. So we'll click here to download data in SHP, and you see a ton of these zip files. Now, if you just want the winter storm severity index, these 4 down here are all you need to worry about. If you want the day 1, that's the day 1. If you want the day 2, there's the day 2, that's the day 3. And this is that days 1 through 3 that I was talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and click, well, I'm not going to click on it. I already have this downloaded, but this is what I would click on. All it'll do is it'll download this as a zip. If you want day 1, just click that, whatever you want. But I'm working with this one. So now we're going to come over to QGIS. And this is what it looks like. And typically you won't start with any. I'll just actually create a new project from the get-go. I don't need this project, so I'll just discard this. And this is what it'll look like. You'll have this scrolled all the way up to the top. Well, I know that my file went to the downloads folder. So I'm going to scroll down until I find the file. And it is WSSI overall days 1 through 3 latest. And I did this earlier, actually did this yesterday, and they're named the same file type, so I'm just going to use this one because this is the most recent one. And you'll see that there's a shapefile in here. Now, you don't have to unzip this. You see this is still a .zip. You don't have to unzip it. Just go ahead and click this caret, and it'll reveal the shapefile inside. I'm going to pull this into QGIS. And now you see it's got this displayed across the map. Now, if I were to import this directly into WSV3, what would happen is that it would show each of these values as the same value. So if you were to put this into WSV3 and click filled polygon or outlined polygon, it's going to apply the same style to the entire thing. It's not going to take into account that you've got different sections of data in here. There's a way to convert it within WSV3, but I feel like for my purposes, this works better. Just because I can go through and I can actually index, I can figure out what all is in this through QGIS very quickly. So the way that you're going to do this is you're going to right click on WSSI overall, and then you're going to go down to filter. And then you're going to pop up this window. So in this window, you see we have the fields that are product, valid time, component, impact, issue time, start time, and end time. And if I want to know what this what actually is in this product, what values belong to it, I can click a sample here. So it says product, winter storm severity index. We knew that. Valid time, pick a sample. Okay, that just tells me at the time this is valid for. So 1Z February 1st, 2022 to 0Z February 4th, 2022. I can come down to component. And I'm not actually sure what this component one is. I guess maybe this is similar to the product field. Then we can come down to impact. And this is actually the one that you're going to want to work with. So you see the limited, minor, moderate, major, and extreme. And these are all of the fields that make up the actual data that you want to display in WSV3. So I'm going to start with limited. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on impact, and this automatically populates this field down here. And then we're going to hit equals, and now we're going to say limited. And so what this is going to do is QGIS is going to look at the field impact, and it's only going to display the limited. So now I'm going to hit OK, and you see, boom, it took away a lot of data. So now what I want to do with that is I want to right click this, I want to export, save features as, and this has to be an ERC shapefile. If it's not an ERC shapefile, this isn't going to work. Another thing I would recommend doing is converting the CRS, which just stands for Coordinate Reference System, and WSV3 works with a 4326 Coordinate Reference System. It's also called WGS84. We'll click on that, and this will make it so that the coordinates that these are projected over are the same as the coordinates that WSV3 interprets. File name, I'm going to click the three dots here because I have an area set up where anytime that I need to update this, it'll automatically update in WSV3 if I just save these to that file. So it's in my D drive and it is in WSSI. Here we go. So limited, double click on that. And I already have this named here as limited.shape. But in here you would just type whatever you want to name it. Because it's limited, I'm just going to stick with that and hit save. So it's an ERC shapefile, ESRI shapefile, sorry. It's in my D drive, it's in the right file, it's in the right coordinate reference system. We can ignore everything else and now just hit OK. And because I already have this as a file, if you do it the same way that I do it, the second time that you do this, you'll have to overwrite the file. So just hit overwrite, and then boom, you can see now we have this limited shapefile. Oops. And we also have the overall shapefile. So we're done with this for now. I can actually just go ahead and remove this from my workflow, from my layers, because I don't need it anymore. Now I can come back in here and we're going to edit this filter again. So we have it set as impact limited, but now I want to look at minor, the minor field. Actually, I think it's all caps. And if you want to test it without actually hitting OK and saving it, you can just hit test. And it'll do that. But in order to keep the changes, you have to hit OK. So now this is for the areas that are just in the minor category. Same feel, right click, export, save feature as, shapefile, go to wherever you want it saved as, coordinate reference system, okay, overwrite file, boom, done. And I'll just go through and do the rest of these. You can skip through this. I'll put a timestamp where I'm done doing all of these at the end. Takes a second to do. And you can actually, I could write a program that could do this all for me. And if you're interested in me writing a program that just parses the data real fast, let me know in the comments or on the WSV3 forums where I'm going to be posting this video. And if you want me to make that kind of a program to make this like streamlined, I can do that for you. So our next one's moderate. Okay, oops. All right, now we're done with that. I'm going to hop on over to WSV3. Now WSV3 is going to come up. Oh, you can do something similar with the watches and warnings, by the way. The standard, like the standard engine that he uses to get the National Weather Service advisories in is a little finicky, and so you can use the GIS engine to actually add your own shape files so that stuff like Chicago fills in properly. I think that like northwestern Indiana also has an issue with the shape files not correctly populating in, and so if you want me to make a tutorial on that, just let me know in the comments or on the forums, and I can do that too. So this is all actually loaded in by hand, which is a little time consuming, but it is what it is. So we'll come down to GIS. We will click on Manage Shapefiles, and for the time being, I'm just going to disable my winter storm watches and winter storm warnings. And you can see I already have these set up for the limited, minor, moderate, major. I'm just going to turn these layers on, and I'll show you how I do it for the extreme category. So we're going to come into here, and this is going to open up the last place that you viewed files from. And I'm going to get over to, where did I put it? There it is, WSSI. We're going to come over to extreme, and now all we want is this shape file right here. And you have to do this for each one, the limited, the minor, the moderate, the major, and the extreme shape files. And only SHP. I know that you see like .shx and PRJ, and none of that matters. The shape file is the only one. These are all like metadata components, so PRJ is the projection, DBS is the database, so on and so forth. So go ahead and hit open. And I'm going to add this to the map. And now I want this to actually be on top of everything, and now right now it's below. So I'm going to move this to above major. So now we got it above major. I'm going to go ahead and hit style editor on it. And I don't want the lines to show up. I just want this to be a filled polygon. So I'm going to hit filled polygon. So boom, you see the area pop up where where the extreme category is. And I'm going to create a new fill style, and I'm just going to call this WSSI extreme. And they usually have it as a purple on the website, so I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to raise the opacity all the way up. Come on. There we go. And that's it. You're done. And once you've done that, you've got the WSSI overlaid on WSV3. So it's in the exact same areas. It's in the same projection, so you don't have to worry about that. See, all the data looks pretty good. There's a slight issue with resolution, but for what it is, it works. So if there's anything else you want me to make a tutorial on that I've mentioned in the video, just feel free to let me know, and when I have some spare time, I'll make a video. So I hope that you all enjoyed, and I hope that you all have a good time figuring this out. Have a good one.